Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to WrestleAM. It's half morning show, half wrestling show, all BS. Don't worry, you'll get the equation. And I am the huge one, aka the idiot Dave Koco from KocoSports Twitch machine, and I am joined by my tag team partner, SidsLight. He's a raccoon, and he does horror movie reviews, video game streams, and we talk pro wrestling. And this week, only one name is dominating the pro wrestling scene, and that is one CM Punk.
CP Monk.
For those that don't know what's going on, CM Punk got fired, and tons of fucking drama. And right now, there are people that are absolutely defending the man, absolutely throwing the man under the bus, and everywhere in between. It is a bit crazy. Hopefully you guys could settle down. You got old men on podcast saying, this is what I would do. It's like, come on. Don't fucking embarrass yourself. But here's the big question coming out now, okay? It's official. He's fired. I turned into Mario. And everyone's asking, Sid, does he go back to WWE? Does WWE let him back? Does he become a pro wrestler? Is he even worth it? Is he going to be a star? Is he going to be a draw power? Is he going to behave? Is he, what's the situation here? Is it going to be another failure? Because let's talk about the good stuff. Because, if you attack CM Punk right away, sensitive people that put all of their problems in life into one person instead of bettering their life in any way, we have to say the positive. All right? Awesome that he made straight edge popular. Probably made a bunch of people straight edge. Second,
good for you.
The pipe bomb, absolutely fantastic. And at one time, he was the best wrestler in the world. Here's the problem with most wrestling fans. People go up and down in talent and value-wise, okay? And I always pick on my boy Larry Bird. Larry Bird, you're a Boston guy, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He is not in his prime. So in wrestling worlds, everyone's, you gotta respect Larry Bird, he's the fucking greatest. Yeah, that's without a doubt. Ask him for autographs. But I don't think you want him as a small forward on the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think you want him on the Knicks. I don't think you want him on the Lakers. That's the thing. Wrestlers go down and up in value. And to steal a line from Dennis Rodman, you can deal with a pain in the ass with 30 rebounds a night. You can't with 5. All right, so WWE had their problems with CM Punk. CM Punk, for how many years has he been bashing WWE now? 5, 6, 7, 8, 20. So they had a divorce. They go their separate ways. He goes to the UFC. He goes 0-2. Not very successful, but brave to try it. Let's be honest. We can't be all negative. Very brave to try it. Goes to AEW. Gets fired. But the whole time he's been bashing WWE. It would feel weird. I had an aunt and uncle. They got divorced. They hated each other. And then they got back together and acted like nothing was fine. And it's just fucking weird. It's weird. If you badmouth someone for 8 to 10 fucking years, I don't think that's where you should go crawling back to. That's just me.
Especially if your whole thing was that they horribly mistreated you. Like, how can you go with, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, it's wrestling. He says it for promos and shit. But what's in his like opening return line? Something about he stopped being a wrestler when he went to WWE. Et cetera, how much he hated it there.
Nakamura said the same thing in Japanese.
How those people tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he ran the fucking gauntlet and reasons why he hated WWE as the first thing he did on AEW with a mic. Like,
and it's not like he wasn't throwing him under the bus in any mic ever. You put a mic in that guy's face, he's like, yep, fuck him. That's it.
Yeah.
So
it's just now he's going to say fuck WWE. Well, now he's probably just going to say fuck AEW until he's sure he can't go back to WWE.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. Like, if you're WWE, do you want him back? Everyone's like, he's the number one T-shirt seller. Everyone says that he sells lots of tickets. I think I don't think you bring him back. And what do you bring him back as? You got to think, as WWE, do you motivate him? Be like, you got to prove yourself to AEW. And we did this a while back. We're talking in-ring wise. is he better than? Well, I mean, what top percentage do you put CM Punk on a WWE roster? Pro wrestlers today are more athletic than ever. Period.
I think.
End of story. Do you think he's in the top 10? Do you think he's in the top 100? Okay, that maybe between.
I think he's definitely like. I would say based off his past few matches, I would say he's still like top 30 to 40%.
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to say he's top 20% consistently. I feel like he hurts himself a lot, which is definitely. And if we're talking WWE, hurting yourself a lot in WWE history has historically always meant their interest in you plummet and they don't want you.
Yeah.
They have had a ton of guys who were great wrestlers but kept getting hurt that they just basically said, fuck them. So yeah. I have trouble believing that they're going to look at Punk. Punk's going to come back, and with how much Punk hurts himself, they're going to be happy with it. That said, I don't think the door's closed. There's money.
Oh, yeah.
There's money to be made. If he can come back as a part-timer and not be problematic and they think they can control him, I think there's money to be made and they'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll bring him back at the level he was getting at AEW at all. He's not going to be the main star of one of his own shows. That ain't going to happen. You're not going to be in charge of creative of a show. That ain't going to happen. There are a lot of things you're not going to do that I guarantee you Tony Khan was giving you, that we all know Tony Khan was giving you, and you spit in his face. So I no matter what, it's a downgrade from the level of treatment he was getting.
And you know, when Mark Henry wanted to prove he was the strongest man in the world, now Vince, what power does he have, doesn't have, who knows? That's for guys behind the scenes or liars on the internet. But Vince told Mark Henry, you can go and try to be the world's strongest man, but there's not a contract for the second strongest man in the world for you. So he knew what was on the line. All right, so you went 0-2 in the UFC. Dana White wants nothing to do with you. And you got fired from AEW. Is the t-shirt sales
being
worth
a problem?
Yeah. And on top of that, I'll tell you, last 10, 20, 30 years, I don't think John Cena is a good person. I think he's the definition of propaganda working. With that said, Koco would choose John Cena over CM Punk. I never thought that day would come. Because here's the thing, you know, John Cena ain't going to do anything too fucking stupid.
100% loyal to the brand.
Yeah. And it's like, well, if you're going off t-shirt sales, bam, there you go.
He moves them. He moves t-shirts. He moves armbands. He moves hats.
And then I just picked CM Punk because
handkerchiefs.
I just picked John Cena. Sorry, I picked John Cena as an example of someone that I hate that could sell merch. The Rock. The Hollywood strike comes back. Bam, you can have him come back. Dude, The Rock, I was joking with Sid on a cell phone. The Rock could literally put a rock on a t-shirt and he'll say, rock-a-doo, or something stupid, and he'll sell. He'll just fucking sell. You have The Undertaker, Stone Cold. You can go to the well so many more times to people that were loyal and will sell a lot more. Will sell a lot more. So it's an interesting situation. If it does happen, it'll just be a money grab. But here's the thing: let's be pro CM Punk fans, okay? I was a CM Punk guy. You know, people go up and down. I know that's impossible for the internet to understand sometimes. But here's the thing: let's say, put on your hat. We are Team CM Punk. Go tweet. Go on Reddit. Defend his honor. AEW. Blah. He'll work at WWE. I love how WWE has a good reputation, Ren, as a company. That's the part that blows my mind. But let's just say we are pro WWE, pro CM Punk. All right, CM Punk.
You just convinced me that they will bring back Punk.
They probably will, but
oh yeah, he's coming back for a Saudi show for sure.
Oh yeah, Saudi show for sure. Not a lot, but here's the thing: if you're a CM Punk fan and you actually listen to the words that this guy say, him returning to WWE, and you being a WWE fan and him returning, you have to admit to yourself that it feels wrong. It feels dirty. CM Punk, why did he hijack shows? Because we didn't like the WWE product. Why did we hate CM Punk? Because he talked bad about WWE. And now they're going to come back together, and we're like, yeah, that's the end. That's the straight edge rebel that I know. He's back kissing corporate. You know what I mean? It just, the whole situation absolutely cracks me up. So I think he'll come back for cheap money, and I think they'll regret it. Now, if CM Punk had any honor whatsoever, go to NWA, go to Impact, go to Noah. I dare you. You fucking coward.
Yeah, I
Go to
think
New
there
Japan.
are two sides of the if he wants to really prove it, there are two paths he can take. Prove your draw, which that means you got to go to some place like NWA. You got to go to some place like GCW. You got to go somewhere that isn't currently big shot on TV with a major TV deal.
Yeah.
And help them get there. Prove that you are that kind of draw.
Or
if you want to prove you're a great wrestler, path 2, go to Japan.
Yeah. And on top of that, if you want to prove that you're a draw and you're the fucking man, run your own fed in Chicago.
Good.
If you are so fucking clever, so smart, you're the best, we're fucking dumb, you're smart, you're a draw. CM Punk W, CPW, 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 CPW. Chicago's own. I don't know. Fucking you come up with your own goddamn marketing. I just feel... let's go back in time when I was a huge CM Punk guy. All right, let's go back in time. All right, he just hit the pipe bomb. If you time travel to that moment and tell yourself as a CM Punk fan, one day he'll come back to WWE because there was nothing left. At that moment, not now because you stand for nothing and you have no standards. At that fucking moment, how would you take that? He just... That picture with me. Go on this journey. You are a CM Punk fan. He just dropped the pipe bomb. And you say in the year 2023, he would fucking failed and got fired at everything and come back.
It's not the usual return story for WWE.
No. So it would be beyond interesting. It would be beyond interesting.
Almost everyone who comes back to WWE came back because they went and proved themselves somewhere else.
Yeah. Cody, Mark, Brock.
There's that angle too. How many people in the backstage of WWE might have a problem with Punk?
Well, there's lots of reports about William
harder
Regal.
For them to bring him back.
Yeah. Well, you never know because like the way the internet and news cycle works is if it proves your point, it's real, and if it goes against your point, it's fake news. But there are reports that people are like, no, we don't want him back. We don't want him back. We don't want him back. And if you're Dolph Ziggler, how fucking stupid do you feel for being loyal? If it's just... Because here's the thing. The Rock never went around bashing. John Cena, Undertaker, Stone Cold. Stone Cold, they had that falling out, but even when they had that falling out, he didn't trash WWE as much as Punk did.
No.
So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation. Have you ever had...
Punk trashed them as a company, both professionally in ring. He trashed them as a company in terms of how they treat their employees. He trashed their whole medical division. Like, Punk went in on every aspect of WWE that he could.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, they'll do it just for the money. They'll just do it for the money. Here's the thing. If WWE is so successful and it's all about the money, it would be weird to be a billionaire and still have no fucking standards.
Dude, fuck that. Look past that. Here's the other angle of it.
Yeah.
How can Punk even go back? This is a guy who, we got to look at this. He got upset at... I'll go on a one by one just to point out how fucking bad it is. He gets upset at Hangman, who from all reports is a total sweetheart. He's upset at Hangman because Hangman didn't want to take his advice. Whatever, dude. The quote, when you go back and see it, the quote was basically Hangman saying that, he respected them all, but he was going to do his own thing because it had been working for him and he liked it. Like, he hears their feedback, but he's not changing everything he is to be what they were saying he should be.
Yeah, and that's what you should do. That's what Punk would do. That's what Brock would do.
And yet Punk, that's what set Punk off and got him pissed at him. And fine.
Can I just add something? According to reports, he did that to William Regal.
Oh, yeah,
in AEW. So
which will not help you going back to WWE.
no,
But we look at that. Put aside that whole feud, that whole conflict. We'll
we'll
give it
put
a
a pin in it.
pass.
We'll just
We'll give
say,
it a yeah. We'll say put all that aside. Once the suspension starts after he goes off on AEW at Brawl Out and then has a fight in the back room, in front of Chief Legal, cough. In front of that, once that happens, this man then is off TV everything for over a year. Hangman says nothing about him. Not a word. Doesn't even like vaguely hint at anything about him. Has zero interest in commenting on it publicly. No one hears shit about this. But Dirt Sheets, nothing's hearing a word about Punk from Hangman. Great. What's he do? He comes back, still nothing from Hangman. He gets his own show, still nothing from Hangman. He then starts shitting on Hangman on the mic after the show to the audience, and knowing that people are going to have recorded it and leak it, because that always happens with anything that happens after the show ends. This is a man who held a grudge that long against a guy who the entire duration of the grudge was not participating in the grudge at all. But you expect me to believe that this man went back to WWE and made up with Triple H in one night?
yeah.
Come on. He went to WWE to get press attention on him. That was the only reason he was in that building. Because he knew it would light a fire under AEW about him if he was going back to going to WWE. That's all that was. This man with that kind of ego, I don't believe he can ever make amends with Triple H.
Well, the funny thing is Triple H. They probably did. And this is a Coco-spiracy, no facts whatsoever. Triple H is like, yeah, dude, fucking water under the bridge. Yeah, you fucking get out of your AEW contract. We'll fucking hire you. And now Triple H ain't answering his phone.
I can't imagine Punk himself getting over that feud, because didn't they send him the release on his wedding day or something like that?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he stands for nothing.
A guy who is this petty, if he goes back to WWE, is just the biggest hypocrite.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. Everyone knows that relationship where they're just horrible for each other and they'll go back. Mm-hmm. But even as a CM Punk supporter, you can't see this as a victory. You can't. You know? It reminds me of, and I hate politics, you worship your leaders, whatever, your leader's the best. But you ever see it when they're trying to become the prime minister or the president or the king? Like, the one side will have two guys argue, and one guy will belittle the fuck out of them. Belittle, and then they'll win. And then, like, a week later, that guy that was fucking absolutely belittled. No, and not even working together. That guy's kissing ass. The guy kissing ass right now is CM Punk. CM Punk is the one kissing ass. I mean, I know that, but here's the thing. Business-wise, let's talk money. The longer WWE waits, the less value he has. What? Like, if I was Triple H or WWE, I'm not answering that fucking phone for a month. Maybe 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like every 24 hours that passed, that might be another zero that you have to pay him. It's like...
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, he'll probably show up. But it'll be the end of his legacy. WWE sweaties will fucking say, "Oh, it was the greatest thing ever," but they will fucking.
Was it?
No, they will. Once you've put your whole personality into a company, there's no more logical thinking. It's over. It's not even just in pro wrestling. It's in general. You're like, this idea, this corporation is my identity. You're fucked. Those guys are going to be fucked.
Well, here's the other angle of it, I think, that you got to look at. Anyone looking at potentially hiring him, for one, they're going to look at the bad reaction, the very public and clearly planned, like everyone has pointed out, clearly planned because of the way he went into it. He had planned his whole spiel for the Brawl Out incident, or at least the speech part of it, on camera for the post-match scrum.
Yeah, because it even makes
a lot of that. Yeah, because he went in and he's like, "Oh, you botched my spot," or whatever he had said about it. to Hossman, who is now considered by most to be his guy. Um, he had planned that. Every company that goes to look at him should probably be looking at that. That should come into the equation because it's one of the biggest incidents involved with him in a long time, and it was clearly premeditated to a degree.
Yeah.
But looking beyond that, how is any company going to look at what this man was getting from Tony Khan, what we publicly know he was getting from Tony Khan? His own show, his own championship. Because I forgot to mention that the last time.
Yeah, people are like, is he going to show up with a WWE? Do you think WWE is going to show an AEW title on Raw?
With an X?
Yeah, do you
An
think
off-brand
that's going to
AEW
happen?
title that no one else has really acknowledged except him and like Ricky Starks?
Yeah.
No one else cares about that belt. MJF was on the same show as him multiple times and has not once mentioned the imposter belt. That's how you know you're fucked. Like MJF didn't even mention it as the champ.
Yeah.
Like, come on, your belt means nothing.
But-
He got his own belt, his own show, own control creative, the soft roster split for him, which they announced that between All Out and All In, they announced was no longer going to be a thing to WWD. I just don't see how you look as a potential hiring company at everything this man was given and the results that it kept getting and not be like, why?
Yeah, and I'll, but the big selling point from WWE's side, from the fanatics, is that WWE can control him. All right, let me give you a list of wrestlers that they couldn't control just off the top of my head. Snuka, look it up. Brock Lesnar, look it up. Jeff Jarrett, look it up. Ultimate Warrior, look it up. CM Punk, look it up. Like, the example of WWE can't control him is him.
Yeah. It's wild, dude. I don't get people, man.
CM Punk. Oh, go ahead, sir.
This guy's nuclear, in my opinion.
All right, CM Punk, last statement here for me. And then we're going to go to another topic about you because you're stealing everything. All right. If you want to have your fucking pride, honor, and dignity, start your own company or go to NWA or Impact. And then fucking make it from there. If you can make them stars. Because I think about it. Your resume doesn't match you getting over. You did nothing without Ring of Honor. You did nothing without WWE. And you did nothing with AEW. You're not on Jeff Jarrett's level. You're not on the Young Bucks. You're not on the Golden Lovers. You have done nothing but bitch. Prove me wrong. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You stole. Tell me when I'm telling lies. This is a blatant theft
from
the fucking Bobby Fish one.
And here's the thing. Do you think any WWE superstar... Do you think any WWE superstar is not going to bring up your fucking Rocky past when you use that line in WWE?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You were so protected by Tony Khan that, like, the fact that you said, tell me when to tell lies, and no one brought up the fact that you beat up a woman. No one brought up the fact that, you know what I mean? There's so many fucking facts that they could have brought up, and they didn't. You think fucking Triple H is going to protect you like that? You don't think John Cena's going to go off script? All right. We'll find out. Listen, if you want your dignity, you want your honor, you want your respect, start your own company or go to NWA or Impact and prove that you can make a small company great.
Quick question. Prediction. Do you think he will actually follow through and have the big shit on AEW thing in Sports Illustrated that got rumored?
I'll be honest with you. The way it's going, if he has any legal advice, I would be like, dude, just shut up. Because the thing is,
I would think.
If he has any legal advice, like, oh, dude, save that shoot promo inside a Raw ring, save that. Because here's the thing. Every day Triple H doesn't pick this up, you lose thousands to millions of dollars. And I don't know, maybe Triple H is a big fan and is worried about your bank account. Because everyone's like, it's all about money. Yeah, it is all about money. And if Triple H
he just became a budget purchase.
Yep. You just got it. All right.
Because where's he going to go?
Where's he going to go?
He says, we didn't even go into that. That's the other thing. Money-wise, his offers just plummeted. Because if he goes to WWE and tries to hardball for money, they're gonna be like, why? You're banned from the second company.
Yeah,
You're banned from number 2. You got yourself banned from number 2. Why?
yeah. It's like, are you gonna go back to Impact? How did that work out the first time? Oh, that's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I honestly think him and NWA is a perfect match. If he wants to
way
prove
his ego
himself.
will allow it.
What's that?
His ego won't let him.
Yeah, but like, if he had an ego that he wants to prove Tony Khan and the Elite wrong, wouldn't he start his own company? Like,
Yeah, but he won't.
yeah, he's an ego. He's got an ego, but he's also kind of a bit of a coward.
Nah, this man doesn't take risks. They wanted him to be at the start of AEW, and he wouldn't go to AEW until AEW proved itself. Come on. The man doesn't take risks.
No. Wherever you go, I hope you find happiness. All right, next segment. This was brought to us by Andy Paps. And you think it's an easy question. I'm going to let it roll. All right. CM Punk, Hulk Hogan. Hear me out. Which one was worse? CM Punk's run in AEW or Hulk Hogan's run and Impact Wrestling? Now, you said off air this was an easy choice.
Yeah.
I want you to go first. Tag to you.
I think easily CM Punk was the worst of the two. Hulk Hogan may have been being a shitbag, but from all we can tell, so was CM Punk. And only one of the two of them got in a fight, let alone multiple fights.
That is true. All right.
And was his own direct leak to the dirt sheets to create problems for himself.
Well, Hulkster been doing that for years, though.
Yeah, but Hulk wasn't doing it and creating problems for himself. He was doing it and helping himself.
That's
Punk
true.
was literally doing it and creating his own drama. He leaked the Jack Perry window spot through dirt sheets, and then that comes back to bite him in the end. Come on.
All right.
Hogan was smarter.
Hogan's definitely smarter. We can give Hogan that. We'll give the point to Hogan is smarter. So you think Punk is worse? Now let me throw you a little curveball here. Hulk Hogan. He didn't self-sabotage, but AEW is so much bigger that they could have fired him long ago. Impact was so afraid to lose Hulk Hogan. So
because Hulk Hogan was a legitimate draw.
Yeah, he's a little bit draw. Not a lot, but he gets the television deals, he gets sponsorships, he gets everything.
Let's be honest. You bring Hulk Hogan on TV today, Hulk Hogan is as big a draw as CM Punk is as an individual to wrestling fans. Probably. And we all know he can't go at all.
Yeah. Because, like, my thing is, Impact was a little bit smaller, and they didn't recover from Hogan. That's my only thing. There's the difference, you know? Like, and I guess maybe that's not a Hulk Hogan thing as much of a Dixie Carter thing. Where, like, I don't think CM Punk is going to hurt AEW at all. I think it's going to hurt very little. I think...
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you wait until it's a big, successful number 2 that's acknowledged at a higher level than, in my opinion, TNA ever was.
Yeah.
And has been for at least a year, I'd say, has been a higher level than TNA ever was.
So you're saying Hulk Hogan took bigger risk?
I think Hulk Hogan took a much bigger risk.
I can kind of agree with that. So I guess the only thing that Punk's got going for him is that he didn't damage AEW, and we don't know this going forward, but I'm willing to bet a pizza on it, that AEW is going to be the same. I mean, WWE fans are going to be like, oh, in July of 2001, they didn't draw as much as fucking August 2067. But I don't think they're going to miss a beat. I don't think he had anything help with the UK. I honestly don't. Tony, before all this even went down, said with or without CM Punk, Collision is happening. And then I was like, and two, like, one big thing is like, Hulk Hogan was more of a star without well-known worldwide names, where CM Punk fans and CM Punk try to say they're the only star. And then you're like, well, what about Moxley? What about Daniel Bryan? Daniel Bryan is a way bigger star than CM Punk. The only difference is he doesn't get the headlines because he's not a piece of shit. So
Daniel and I was pretty delighted to hear that Tony Khan told his father, he was like, yeah, if anything happens to me, put Brian in charge of everything.
Yeah. His dad's like, dude, if you fucking die, I'm just gonna fucking sell this off to Vince. I don't know. I'm just being mean spirited, but it's like, oh yeah, oh man, my fucking son died. Oh, I'm super sad. Daniel Bryan, you in charge? No, dude, I'm just gonna fucking sell this thing off, man. I don't know, maybe not, especially if it was his son's dream and all that. So, all right. So, question to you, YouTube and podcasters, feel free to hit us up at Twitter at KocoSports. CM Punk, Hulk Hogan, who is worse for the company? Because we can both say I think universally everyone can say Hulk Hogan was bad for Impact. I think everyone can say that.
Let me ask one question. I wasn't
right.
watching Impact as actively as you, as we all know. Was Hogan ever doing jobber matches, like with jobbers? Like, was he working with guys who were basically nobody before he worked with them? Was that happening?
He was kind of more. I don't remember him wrestling that much. He was kind of more of a celebrity host all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He might have wrestled.
So
if he did wrestle, it's kind of like, I don't remember. Because the last time I remember Hulk Hogan wrestling was probably, WWE runs. No, he did wrestle. It was just shit. It was just shit.
Just to double check, though, from what you're saying, Hogan was on the screen a lot as almost a host personality.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as though he was the main thing drawing people to the show.
Yeah. And the big thing that Hulk Hogan had...
Punk wasn't doing that.
You know, and I'm not pro Hogan, but the one thing that Hogan did have a benefit of is that the TV deals went through the roof overseas. I think that was the most important thing that Hulk Hogan brought. Like when they went around and said, "Hey, we're Impact Wrestling," it's like, oh, we don't give a fuck. Like, we're Impact Wrestling with Hulk Hogan. Oh, come on in. So Hulk Hogan opened up plenty of doors. Where I don't think CM Punk opened up any doors for AEW. I think the people that opened up doors for AEW was Chris Jericho, and I think the Elite, Cody Rhodes. You know, honestly, dude, if you're gonna compare roles, Chris Jericho had way more to do with AEW's success than Punk ever did.
Oh yeah, undeniable. Jericho was the first major guy to take the risk.
Fine. All right, so final decision. Who was worse, Punk or Hulk? Impact, AEW, their effects on.
I think Punk was worse. He brought less and brought more negative.
You know, I tried to be a counter here, but I think you might be right. I think
he brought less to the table overall for what the company needed. He brought less to the table. And in terms of negatives he brought to the table, he brought a lot of negatives. Publicity-wise, he brought a lot of negative press.
And thanks to Andy Paps. He's on our YouTube and Twitch. He's been part of the internet industry for a while. Feel free to ask us questions. Me and Raccoon will answer them. Next segment. Oh, man, we almost forgot about this guy. Good old Jack Perry. Jack Perry is suspended indefinitely. Some people think he should be fired too. Some people think, what the hell did he do wrong? I want to see footage, because I think when it comes to Jack Perry, who struck first is very important, and they know that. They know that. But according to all reports, to the best of my knowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Say pretty much all the reports say Punk did everything.
Yeah. If Punk...
I haven't seen many. I don't think I've seen a report that even indicates that Perry swung at him.
Yeah. And as far as like shooting and people got to talk to him, like Dudley's like, oh, people got to sit down and talk to him and set this straight. I think wrestlers think it's more organized and tougher than they really are. I really do. It's like, I don't know. I just find it weird. I don't know. Was it edgy? Yeah. Was it uncalled for? Not really. Made sense. Should it get you that angry? Probably not.
No.
You know who else said something, though? Someone else fucking said something. Shit, I apologize. God damn, someone was an MMA fighter. Like an older... Oh, yeah. And Noah's Josh Barnett. He's like, dude, what the fuck happened to the gentleman saying, let's step outside? I know, Josh Barnett. You know, first off, in the Marine Corps, I was named Babyface Assassin. I have a crazy beard. You have a crazy beard. Josh Barnett, my dad? I don't know. That's up to you. You decide. But yeah, dude.
I think the ages are
listen, young people. I know you're really tough behind the Twitter machine. If you are in a workplace and you don't say, let's step outside, you're a bitch. Can we all agree on that? Can that be universal? What the fuck, you non-gentleman fucks? I got a little off topic. All right, Jack Perry, indefinite suspension. Pitch, why that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing.
Go on.
My worry is that they're going to... I think Jack Perry was in the worst place he could have been in terms of being in character-wise and where he was performing as far as in front of the fans and fan perception was in the worst possible place he could have been for this to happen because he ain't hot right now. He is middling at best right now, which sucks because I do like Jack Perry. A boy and his dinosaurs where it's at, baby. Put it back together. Bring the pieces back together. But I think an indefinite suspension is a little worrisome if it's indefinite because that to me seems like they're considering the possibility of cutting him, which I think would suck. The guy didn't do anything bad. In my opinion, I get what people are saying. Oh, he shouldn't have been taking the shot.
Well, if that's the case, then according to that, I just want to cut in here. Then the Elite didn't do anything wrong. Nope. If CM Punk, you can't have CM. Here's the thing, I don't think you can have CM Punk's side if you're neutral on both fights. If CM Punk is in the right for Perry, then the Elite are in the right for CM Punk. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Here's my stance. If Punk hadn't reacted to him like a toddler, and I'll say this is, in my opinion, this sentence is great advice for anyone to remember. You cannot control what other people do. You can't control their actions. You can't control them. They're ultimately their own person. The only thing you can control is how you react to a situation and to those people. You are in control of that. That is your controllable area. Focus on that. And Punk's controllable area was to not react. If he had not reacted to that when Perry came back through, done his match, and then after his match came back to talk to Tony about it, guarantee you that Perry would have gotten the indefinite suspension still and wouldn't be on TV for a little bit while they sorted that out if he had reacted like an adult.
Yeah.
But no, he got violent. And you're talking to two grunts who 100% understand the mentality of getting violent as a solution. It's not a solution, man. Like this is not the area where you need to get violent, my guy, especially on a guy that's smaller than you. All you do is you look like a bitch.
And for the love of God, if you're in the military, wrestling, or anywhere, if you're gonna fucking fight, bring back let's step outside. That's all I'm saying. Like, here's the thing. Let's say you were gonna beat up Jack Perry no matter what. You go by and say, I'm gonna talk to you later. Go do your match. Come back. Find where the fuck is Jack Perry. Go to Jack Perry. Go face to face and be like, hey, we're gonna step outside and we're gonna fight. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm fucking saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's bring that back. Gentlemen used to ask each other to step outside to beat the shit out of each other. Nowadays, you fucking throw hissy fits and cry on Twitter.
Not only that, but isn't it kind of a bitch move to pick a fight with a guy who's smaller than you as he's coming back from like a 20-minute physical endurance thing where he went through windshields and shit? Like, you're picking the guy when he's at his least capable of actually fighting you.
It's one of those things that
everything about it is a bitch move.
It's a bitch move, but also too, it's one of those things you either completely plan this out or you are fucking mentally unstable. Like, it's one of the two. It's just fucking
what
ridiculous.
I think happened, and I think I mentioned it on the before. I know I mentioned it, I think, talking to you. But I think what happened was the travel affairs thing, he waited to show up until Saturday. Reportedly, AEW had travel set up for people who came earlier, but if you were coming on Saturday, they didn't set up your travel plans from the airport to the arena because you were choosing to come on the last day. They weren't setting it all up for you. So
Hold on.
Punk
I
was
just got to whisper something to the audience. WWE does the same thing. Stop rubbing your nipples to corporations. It's fucking weird. All right, go ahead.
so all the other wrestlers got to the arena fine. He gets to the arena. I think though, because of your Punk. Think about Punk's ego. I think Punk was already looking for a reason to be pissed that day because you don't go from this little scuffle with Jack Perry to screaming "I quit" unless you were already in the headspace to looking for a reason to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he already was rip shit about that and was waiting for a reason. And when Perry said that, I guarantee you from that moment on, he was fuming in his head and was thinking about he was role playing how he was going to confront him when he came back for disrespecting him. And he was going to sort this out because this was going to be his night to prove to the elite and to Tony Khan that everything could work out. And everybody was fucking it up and trying to ruin it for him. And he was going to teach them not to ruin this for him. He was going to get his respect back one way or another. I guarantee you he was fuming like a toddler just waiting.
Yeah. So it is an interesting situation. I think though, I'm saying this a little bit there. Indefinite suspension is kind of legal jargon, and like when this blows over, he's back. I think when this blows, I think he will. I could be wrong, you know.
What would you do in this situation if you were them?
Honestly,
Perry?
If I was Perry, I would look to see if he struck first. I know it sounds weird, but that is a huge thing in my eyes. You know, and according to all reports, he hasn't, but they have film footage. If he doesn't strike first, I tell him to take the night off. I apologize for the work environment and let him be on his way. If he struck
That's true.
first,
They could just be giving him time off and just calling it the indefinite suspension.
I think he's just calling it indefinite suspension because, especially in sports, they say that shit a lot. I think they're just saying that, and when shit blows over and legal says, it's okay, he'll come back. But I've been wrong before.
Hope so.
I've been wrong before. But for me, it's just, did you strike him? And there's film footage, you know? Like, of course, you know, if you're in an altercation, I'm giving you the rest of the night off. That's, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, dude, just take the rest of the night off. We'll fucking regroup back home, you know? But outside of that, no. And as far as like, oh, he's going to get punished. Well, why didn't Punk get punished? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's one of those things you blindly defend someone and you change the, you know what I mean? The view. It's like when CM Punk shoots on a thing. Oh, that's okay. He's just heated and passionate. Perry does it. It's like, someone's got to sit down and talk to this guy.
How dare you? So would you say that we're in agreement that we both kind of hope it, if he didn't swing first, that he's back, that he comes back?
Yeah. I think we're in agreement there. And a lot of people are like, oh, you should be fired. And it's like, it's weird because, like, I think people's tribalism and loyalty doesn't make them think straight.
You know what? In fact, I'm going to go out. I'm going to say, Tony Khan, this is what you do.
All right.
When you bring back Jack Perry, you wait until after Christian and Luchasaurus aren't in a feud. You bring back Jack Perry. You have Jack Perry coming in the ring, cutting his promo, and then you have Christian come out with Luchasaurus and interrupt him and basically tell him, this only happens to you because you don't have a good father figure. And then just start their feud again, but this time have their feud end with Luchasaurus turning on Christian Cage and give his boy a dinosaur back.
All right. I'm gonna take your recipe and cook with your recipe. So I'm taking your ingredients and gonna cook with it. All right. If I get the Big Dino loses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Christian flips out on him and gets Edge. Edge shows up. They start beating him down. They're like, your only fucking friend was fired. Go to a pay-per-view. It's 2-on-1. Yeah. And then motherfucking Jungle Boy is back.
Listen, I'm on board. If we get Boy and a Dinosaur back, I'm on board. Because I loved that tag team. It was so
good,
fun.
Man. Yeah.
Just bring it back. Watch him ride to the ring on his shoulders and everything. Like, come on. It was one of the best.
Yeah. That was good times. Good times had by all.
So then he separated it, and he's been floundering ever since and got beat up by CM Punk.
Rough guy. So I still like the soundbite. Have you seen the soundbite where CM Punk is like, if you have a problem with Jack Perry, you're the problem?
Yeah. Jack Perry's a great guy. One of the nicest guys back there. You got a problem with Jack Perry, you're the problem. Well, cell phone.
Oh, man. Anyway, Perry, good luck. And if you didn't strike first, fuck, dude, I would give you the night off.
I hope that film somehow gets leaked eventually.
I mean,
And that it
I think
doesn't
after
have
the
him
court
striking
cases, it will be.
first. Because I would love to take the film of that and just make a super cut of it overlaid with if you have a problem with Jack Perry, you're the problem.
Oh man, get on that internet. Get on that internet.
Yeah, get us that footage so that I can make the super cut.
All right, let's talk about some good stuff. There's some good stuff. All
Before
right.
we move on, I do just want to say,
All right.
if QTV leaks that footage, it would be the greatest.
Oh, it would. It would be. Like, my thing is,
have.
if QTV doesn't leak that footage, they don't need to exist.
No, QTV leaking that footage would be the
best.
absolute peak. Could you imagine if that's when they do it? Is when Jack Perry, once Jack Perry comes back, they leak it as like them researching how to beat Jack Perry.
That's big balls. And you know what? The WWE fans are like, there's a slow class, man. I don't understand how fucking you can just love one corporation and not get paid for it. It confuses me, boys. It confuses me.
No, because listen, you can't keep saying that they should have turned the CM Punk and Elite stuff into a work and made a match out of it and make good business. But at the same time, tell me not to have QTV leak the footage.
Dude, QTV does not need to exist unless they leak the footage.
Leak the footage, QTV.
What the hell?
Give us the Snyder cut.
All right, let's talk some positive stuff. Orange Cassidy, main event, All Out, goes down to Moxley. Every time CM Punk gets in trouble, it leads to Moxley gold. Do you think Moxley is poking him in the back? He's like, "Oh, dude, go crazy, go crazy." Like every time CM Punk is
getting bored. I'm getting bored, Punk. Can you go do something?
But he had a hell of a run. A lot of people are putting OC as Wrestler of the Year. I would agree with that, except there's a guy named Will Ospreay. So enjoy your silver medal.
Oh.
Plus, if you like sports entertainment, you can go Roman Reigns. So it really just depends.
No, I don't think if we're going of the year, I think Roman this year has lost a lot of the luster for people. A lot of people have been losing interest in the bloodline thing because it's drug on too far, and the long protected matches for Roman, I think, have started to rub people the wrong way.
Do you think Dom is, well, let's say sports entertainer of the year, because I don't think Roman Reigns competes with wrestlers. I think there's a difference between wrestling and sports entertainment. Mm-hmm. Sports entertainment, Dom or Roman this year? We're going sports entertainment, not wrestling.
Oh man, it is tough. It's on the line right now. I think it's Roman still. But I think Dom has been a beautiful story in the growth of a young wrestler.
We're talking pro wrestler now. A lot of people saying Orange Cassidy has to be a run-in, but Will Smith.
Keep
look at his
name out your mouth.
Will Ospreay is definitely Wrestler of the Year. It's not even close.
Yeah, I think Ospreay wins it easy.
Yeah. So, like, saying Will Ospreay isn't Wrestler of the Year is like, tell me you only watch WWE without saying you only watch WWE.
Well, look, Ospreay wins it easy unless Omega steals it at the last second.
Maybe, but I think Omega's too.
There's the argument to be made for Daniel Bryan too.
Yeah, definitely.
Bryan has had a phenomenal year, and the fact he came in on such short notice to do the Steamboat Starks angle and match is crazy good.
So I think overall Orange Cassidy I think is AEW Wrestler of the Year. I think there's some people chomping at his bits, but
it's tough. I think he's definitely up there for sure. I don't know if he's the best of the year for them, but he's up there. It's close.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. People are saying that he's had one of the best title runs ever. I do kind of wish it was the TNT title and not the international title. It seems weird the international title only was defended in Winnipeg.
If it was the international title or the TNT title, it would feel a lot better just because the international title didn't really travel very much. But it was still, man, what a reign.
Yeah. Just tons of championship fights, almost on every show, every pay-per-view, and
And
undefeated
all
reign
good
and defense.
matches.
Yeah, all decent matches.
No throwaway quick matches. They were all good matches that I remember.
So, and yeah, so Orange Cassidy, congrats, great friggin' run, and maybe one of the better runs of title in a while. You know, because you have Roman, you have Seth, you have shit, who's the Intercontinental champ right now? Walter. What's Walter's
Yeah,
name in WWE?
Gunther.
Gunther. You have Gunther. Yeah, so you're having some long title runs. Jake Lee is doing something special in Noah, even though I don't think he's the best wrestler in the company. So
Well, let's look at how good his run was. His run was so good that he elevated the title to the point where Moxley challenging for it just makes sense.
yeah,
And Moxley undeniably being one of the top guys of AEW going for this title means you elevated it a shit ton.
yeah, and now thanks because it has Moxley, he'll be able to travel with it, and we'll see
Yeah,
some
and
great
that's what I'm
things.
excited for. Is excited to see Moxley take it like everywhere.
So, some people are saying best. I just think super good. I don't know if best, but let's talk about the worst. All right. I don't know why Seth Rollins' title exists. I have
I
no
don't
idea.
either.
I think this is the dumbest fucking title. I really liked Payback. I
I
really
thought this
love
was going to be
Nakamura.
your work rate champion, and the belt was going to change hands
Yeah.
regularly often. I didn't know we were getting work rate reigns.
Mm. Yeah, because you got Roman Reigns, sports entertainer, super over, barely ever defends the title. He's called the undisputed champion, but then there's a new title, so it's disputed, which is stupid. And
Yeah.
then you have a long title run with this. It's not the longest title run, and it's better, but I think what hurt Payback a lot is being a huge Nakamura fan. And I gave the event a win. Being a huge Nakamura fan, I never once thought Seth Rollins was losing. Never once. Never
No.
crossed my mind
I wanted
once.
Nakamura to win, but we were both in agreement that that was not going to happen.
Yeah. And then with the Intercontinental Champion trying to break Honky Tonk Man's record, if he hasn't, I think he's a couple days away. I apologize. I haven't watched the Honka Tonk meter in a while. But I don't know. It's just like you have 80, 100 titles, but none of them are being passed around. And I
Yeah.
believe you should have a top tier man's title, a top tier women's title, women and men's tag, depending on how big your roster is. If you have a small roster, don't do that. You know what I mean? And then you should have a title like the Intercontinental title or something like that that gets passed around. I think that's the way it should be. But there's so many titles where it's like, this is the long title reign title. This is the long title reign title.
Yeah, like everybody can't be breaking long title reign records at the same time. Like I've got to see movement somewhere. Give me something to be excited about. Somebody winning a championship instead of me just looking at championship matches as like, well, I know the champ's going to retain.
Yeah. And obviously we don't want passing the belts. We want less belts. I think it doesn't matter if you're a WWE fan, Noah fan, New Japan fan, AEW fan, Impact fan. I think everyone wants less belts.
Yeah, like if you have someone who creates their own fictitious belt when they come back to the company and then it isn't with the company anymore, maybe take that opportunity to just remove that erroneous belt.
Yeah. I just don't understand the point of this title. I don't understand. It's kind of like, to steal a line from Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, you only have the title because Roman Reigns didn't want to work Monday night.
Are we harder on the title because of the fact, though, that he is essentially for his last two feuds beaten two guys that we both think deserve to have won those matches?
Yes,
Finn
and
should have won.
yeah,
Nakamura should have won.
yeah,
Like Nakamura had a fantastic heel turn, was cutting these great promos, and it's like,
mm-hmm.
okay, we know you're gonna lose because he's
It's
gonna
Seth.
retain.
Yeah.
Finn, same thing. Like, just come on.
I don't know if we
Is
still
this
have
just the heartbreak title?
I guess so. I
He
don't
goes
know.
after people we still have hope for.
It just seems like it's Roman Reigns' wasteland. That's what it seems like, and it's like okay. And here's the thing: you don't need to pass around many titles, but to have 16 titles that mean the same exact fucking thing is kind of a waste of time.
All I know is we're one match away from having Reigns carry 3 undisputed championships.
I say he does it. I say he just fucking does everything, dude.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Well, here's my thing. You might hate Roman Reigns, but at least you're like, oh, he's the champ. He's been the champ for 4 years. Oh, look at that. But like, you're also kind of watering down Roman Reigns. Oh, he's been the champ for 3 years. Oh, who gives a fuck? Seth Rollins never loses. Fucking Walter never loses.
Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, okay, everybody's been the champ since they got it.
Yeah. So
who really loses their titles? That's not that impressive.
I know that, but like too with the build-up of Finn Balor, the 7 years, with the great heel turn and promos on that, even if Seth loses a title to one of those 2 athletes later, I'll be like, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the title, it's the FTW title, it's the internet title from Zack Ryder, it's a make-believe fucking title. It's not real. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just not real.
It's the X title.
Yeah. It's CM Punk's X title. Instead of an X, it's just a WWE and a globe. I don't know. I don't know. And here's the thing. I'm not a Seth Rollins hater. I don't understand why he's over, his gimmick-wise. But wrestling-wise, he's pretty goddamn good. It's just... Go ahead.
I was going to say, the worst thing is, for people who've listened to us for a while, like pre-podcast, they know for sure. We're long title reign guys.
Oh, huge.
We love long title reigns.
Yeah. But we want less titles.
Yes, we do. We want good long title reigns. Everyone does not need to have a long title reign at the same time. You use a long title reign to elevate your title. Your title does not need to be constantly elevated. It can only be elevated so far. At some point, the title needs to move.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. And here's the thing: like, you could be like, "But you like long title runs," but we don't need 16. We don't need 16 long title runs. We
here's a
just
good
need
way to
one.
put it, I think. You need one wrestler to hold the title for a while to elevate the title, but at some point, the title needs to start elevating people.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't 100% agree with that, but
yes, you do.
No, because like you went into a trap of, well, he's not. I don't know. I think you have to be the best wrestler in the company or the most over wrestler in the company, heel or face, to get the title. If you're like, I'm not sure if this guy's over. Like, here's the thing. All right, let's just pick Nakamura.
Mid-card titles are meant to
oh no, mid-card titles, yeah. And that's
elevate.
what this is. This a mid-card title? Is this the main title?
Yes, this is a mid-card title.
This title shouldn't exist.
Oh no, this is supposed to be a main level title. It's supposed to be the work rate version of Reigns, and it's
it's supposed to be the Intercontinental title, which we already have.
It's dumb.
This title shouldn't exist. Why does it exist? Less titles. And here's the thing. The more important title, okay? So, like, you know, you got the world champion or heavyweight champ. The high-end title, that should be your long title runs. The tag titles, that should be middle range. You know what I mean? Like, okay, build it up, whatever. But then that third title down, the tier list, that should be the one that's passed around, and you stop making titles.
Yeah, you
that's
don't
it.
Need
you know, dude, 3 men titles, 3 women titles, depending on roster size. If you have a smaller roster, get rid of that. Boop.
And I get with brand splits, you want to have the titles for both brands. I don't agree. I think your champion needs to travel.
100%. 100%.
Your champion needs to be working the best for both rosters. Which kudos to Judgment Day. Kudos to Judgment Day for that. Because that's what they do. At least with the NXT title.
100%. And speaking of Judgment Day, rumors, hey, they're getting super over. I was a little late on this.
Oh, yeah.
I was a little late on the bandwagon of Judgment Day. HBK Omatic, he's a streamer and a podcaster. He's like, hey, these guys are good. Ooh, they're good. I was a little late to the party on this one. But I'm really enjoying it. The way they're using NXT with Dom, just the way the whole thing is. I thought for sure our boy Grand Slam champion over there, I thought for sure he wasn't going to win. Prince Devitt. What's Prince Devitt? name
Urkel.
in WWE?
Finn.
Finn Balor. Finn Balor.
Balor.
Yeah, dude, I fucking get stuck with some of these WWE names. I apologize. I'm old and stupid. But yeah, him winning the Grand Slam championship was awesome, and it was off guard. I thought that was the highlight of the pay-per-view, is him winning the tag titles and just dominant. And they're trying to make.
I told you it had to happen.
Yeah, and you were right, and I was wrong. Internet.
You can't have it. You cannot have a no rules match against people in a big ass stable that's a heel stable and have the heels lose the tag match. It makes no sense, because if they're allowed to cheat, there's no reason they shouldn't win with a numbers advantage unless you have something to counter that, which they do not.
All right, and I just want to rewind a little bit. Internet, you can learn from this. Sid, you were right, and I was wrong. I learned something today. You don't have to always be stuck to your guns if you're wrong. But yeah, and now the internet is wanting a leader. I always thought Rhea Ripley was the leader, but maybe I'm mistaken.
No. Judgment Day is adamant that there's not a leader.
I kind of like that. I kind of like
they
that.
do seem to lean toward Rhea has more say, but I think the only one of them that could snap and become the leader that they would all listen to in reality would be Dom.
Yeah.
If Dom suddenly snapped and became more assertive and took control, I think Judgment Day would listen, and I think it would make sense for them. But I think outside of that, they're going to stay their group of friends working together.
It sounds awesome, and it's succeeding. It's helping NXT, and I know it sounds weird. Finn Balor becoming a Grand Slam champion and winning, there's moments that save your career. I think that saved his career. If Finn Balor loses that fucking match, I love Prince Devitt. I love Finn Balor. I've been following his career for a very, very long time. He loses that tag match, I don't even want him on a pay-per-view anymore.
They also had to win it because of the way they postured the story. They kept having it where it was like they were on the fringe of breaking up as a group as the storyline. That was the way they were doing the story. It was like there were tense relations between Finn and Priest. They needed that win, I think, to stabilize as a group in kayfabe.
Well, and I agree, but I thought, counterpoint, which I was wrong, but let me just counterpoint something I was wrong about. I thought Finn Balor loses and they kick him out. I thought that was the route they were going. Yeah. I was wrong, but yeah. But overall, these guys are doing a great job. How they're using them in NXT is absolutely fantastic. Finn Balor winning that tag match saved his fucking career, because I am a huge fan of Finn Balor, even though I call him Prince Devitt all the time.
We remember who you were.
We know who you were. Put up your bullet club sign. Can you do that, Raccoon?
That's why we know that you've got that son.
So yeah, but overall, they're doing some amazing things in WWE. You can like more than one company and think they do amazing things. I was late to the party on this. Other people said it's gonna get over, and now I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and it's entertaining. It's very entertaining, and they're doing the right thing. So
yeah, I think it's been killer. I've enjoyed it. I've thought it's been a lot of fun to watch, and I loved when they brought Dom. They brought Dom down to NXT, made him the North America champion, and that's a great way to have this guy that still needs work. He still has a lot of areas he could work on. That is a great way to have a guy on main roster that you're trying to keep over, going down and working and having time to train and have it be masked. It is so well done to do that. And now they've got Rhea, where Rhea's apparently might be challenging for the NXT Women's Championship. I know she's going to be facing the Women's Champion from there, from a segment of Raw. But I just think it's really good how they're using Judgment Day to elevate NXT.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but for me, when NXT 2.0 came around, the Rainbow one, I was out.
Lost interest.
Yeah, yep. Lost interest. So like they can bring us back. Like I watch the international version of Raw, which is only 90 minutes. I watch the international version of SmackDown. I don't watch it live. And I watch all WWE pay-per-views live. Ever since NXT 2.0, if you weren't Rick Steiner's son, I wasn't watching the match. Like, I checked in to see his, title matches
Mhm.
because I think he's going to be amazing. But if it wasn't that title match, I didn't watch. Like, I have WWE Network. I just fast forward and be like, all right, this is the only match I want to see. But, Judgment Day coming down, it helps both of them. It's clever, it's big brain, and today's WWE creative is so much better than the days of John Cena, Randy Orton, and Dave Batista on top. So
It's also great because not only are they're having Dom go down there regularly, which gives Dom time to get training behind the scenes without it being as obvious that he's going down there to train.
so big
Because if he
brain.
was just on Raw and SmackDown, but every week he was getting reported he was going down to the Performance Center, people would rag on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there are definitely people that would rag on him. Oh, he's going down to train. He sucks. Blah blah blah. Which is stupid because he's going to improve himself. Good for you, bro.
Yeah, it's like making fun of the fat guy in the gym.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I think this has been a great way to mask him going down and training regularly. And also I think it's been a phenomenal way to have a woman that I think most people universally agree gets it and is the total package in terms of women wrestlers, Rhea Ripley, who clearly she's good. Like she puts on banger matches, she's good on the mic, she's a good character worker. It is another great opportunity to get her down weekly or at least every other week pretty consistently, basically offering chances for them to learn from her too, and how that transition from NXT to main roster for her was. I think it's all around. It's so big brain and genius. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So give yourself a Barry Horowitz and good luck. All right. Taking stock. Buy or sell. Clickbait one. Buy or sell. Jim Cornette. A lot of people have been asking me about Jim Cornette. A lot of people have been sending, memes everywhere and how he's the savior and how he's a tough guy. I have to sell Cornette. I do. I think he's just a character. I don't think he's a genuine person. I think he'll say anything that's extreme. And him, Jim Ross, I'm trying to think who else. Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff. The biggest problem with these guys' podcasts is they had power. And what they say they would do on the podcast, they didn't do when they had power.
Yeah.
And that's the part that bugs me the most. Plus, when the fuck is Jim Cornette a tough guy? Like, I don't know. He's always like, I would kick her, do this and that and that. It's like, when the fuck has he been a tough guy? The only people I know.
I wouldn't let him fuck my wife.
The only people I know that like Jim Cornette are short, fat, out of shape indie wrestlers. Because
wait a second. What if he liked Cornette back in the day?
Well, Cornette
like
doesn't like Cornette back in the day. Jim
I liked
Cornette
Cornette
would
as the manager.
despise Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, the podcaster, would despise Jim Cornette, the promoter and manager. He would fucking despise him. And it's people that didn't make it in life going, yeah, we were fucking tougher back in the day. I'm just walking away. Santana Marella. You acted like a tough guy, and then nothing. And nothing. It's one of those things that it's just sad because he is a legend and he is great, but he'll say anything to get attention. And all these people that had the book, when they had the power, they did dumb shit they were against. And that fucking bothers me.
And going off that, there's someone who very closely ties in on a similar vein. I want to sell Bully Ray.
Oh, but what if he wants to sit down and talk to you?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Why are you selling Bully Ray?
It started with a long time coming, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are overly biased toward how great the Dudley Boys are because they love ECW and they give them a lot of credit after ECW. I think they were good. I don't think they are the greatest tag team of all time. I think they were good. They're not in my top 5.
Really? I got them as 1A. Road Warriors.
They make my top 10. They are not in my top 5.
Okay.
Top 10. For sure. That said, since WWE, floundering interest in both of them. Though, good on you for starting a wrestling school, my buddy Stevie Ray. Uh, I think he has a wrestling school, right? Stevie Ray?
Team 3D.
Fuck, not Stevie Ray. Is Team 3D a wrestling school?
There was one in Orlando. I don't know if it's still there. It was actually
Oh,
really good. They brought out some really great students.
well, good on you for starting a wrestling school. I don't know if you're still doing it, but anyways, on the main man, Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray podcast has made me really dislike Bubba Ray as a person, and I think the latest was him saying how they would have beat the shit out of Jack Perry for this. Like what?
I thought he said
Come
just sit
on.
down and talk to him. I didn't. He actually threatened
No,
him.
they hold on. I'll Google it, double check it.
All right, no problem. Well, the
Ray.
thing about like
Yeah.
thing about these things is they have a fan base and they'll say stuff like Taz and Bully Ray. I feel like their podcast and maybe a little Booker T. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Booker T is always on his knees sucking off WWE. But
Here,
the
let me
thing with
quote
Bully
it for
Ray
you.
and Taz, it just seems like everything is the fans' fault. It's like one time I fucking got in trouble for tax evasion. Goddamn wrestling fans. I got my dick stuck in a toaster. Goddamn wrestling fans. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, buddy. I like the Dudleys, but Bully Ray does
I'll just
fucking seem like a bitch sometimes.
I'll take the first sentence and then I'll skip him ranting about Bully Ray for a little bit. Jungle Boy's an ignorant young boy who doesn't understand the industry.
Yeah, I read that.
Skip ahead. And then he's like, back in the day, there was a way to handle young boys like Jack Perry. Some of those ways still apply. And I'm not talking about beating the shit out of him, but back in the day, that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
He's saying that, yeah, they would have beat the shit out of him.
I guess you're right. I didn't
that
word
would
it
have
like
been their
that.
solution. He's saying he's not saying he endorses it today, but that's how they would have dealt with him. Why bring it up then? It's a shitty way to deal with it. The dude made a small comment that was a jab at a dirt sheet leak created by CM Punk about him, and the dirt sheet leak was created to make Perry look bad. If you look at it, think about it. It was leaked in a way that he wanted a week off of. It was left out that it had been approved by AEW, by Tony Khan, that the car was already rented in there. All of that was left out. It was just he was trying to look for a way to get off for vacation.
Yeah.
It was 100% leaked to make him look bad. He makes a comment that I don't think he probably should have made it during the big pay-per-view. No, namely because we know he's a child and he would have reacted badly. So I get the logic of you knew he's a child, but I can't be mad at Perry for making the comment. He was provoked. He made his own comment back, and that was enough. He didn't even by name. You only know it if you looked into dirt sheets. Come on, and you think he should get the shit kicked out of him for it? Come on. But yet you've got the other guy talking shit about Hangman. Like, that's okay. Come on.
The problem is that wrestlers are mentally weak, and they want to be the toughest people in the room until it's time to be tough. Like, here's Jack Perry. I'll fight him. Oh, I'm going to lock myself in a fucking closet. Oh, I'll fucking kick him in the pussy. Oh, well, I'm just walking away. If you swing, it's that. It's fucking, there's no fucking man that says, hey, let's step outside. Hey, let's do this. You know what I mean?
I don't doubt that Bully Ray would slap the shit out of a rookie.
Oh, no, without a doubt. Without a doubt. No.
He can do it. It's not a good thing, though.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, they act tough, but then when they have to be tough, Bully Ray is the perfect name. They are so good at being a bully, but when they have to be tough, they never fucking are. You know what I mean? It's like, it's time to be fucking tough.
Scandal where he took some fan back and yelled at him back.
Yeah.
Like,
and he also had a podcast where he threatened to fucking beat up and fight.
Like, yeah, what? Come on, you are agreeing with Punk because you are like him.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is too, it's like, I don't know, it just the whole situation cracks me up. It's just like.
Also, I think Bully Ray's just taking Punk's side because he's hoping he can get Punk to come to Impact.
Probably. I mean, that's probably not a doubt. I just think that a lot of these guys are pro WWE and they're trying to work it, and they're like very anti-fans, and they're pro AEW until they don't get booked. I think that's what a lot of it is. And not only that, but also too, look how much fans flock to a logo. Look how much fans flock to their favorite wrestler. it's like you almost have to pick a side and stick with it. Like the segment, I think a segment ago, I literally said, "Oh, I was wrong. You were right." You can't do that, because you'll lose the masses. You have to be a fucking a dickhead. You know what I mean? And here's the thing: I've met Bully, and I think his school was amazing. I don't know if he's still running his school, and yeah, but you don't have to agree with 100% of everything. And I hope listeners, viewers, and human beings out on the internet realize that. And if you say something bad, like, hey, I don't enjoy Bully Ray's podcast, that doesn't mean I want death on him or I wish him ill will. I feel like we live in this time where you have to love a human being without critiquing them, or you want them dead. It's such a fucking weird time we live in. It's a weird time that we live in.
Yeah.
And there's good and bad in everyone. Go ahead.
I think wrestling's in my opinion, the biggest boom it's ever had.
Yeah.
I think that there are some metrics. I think there are some metrics that are getting skewed because it's in the streaming area. There are a lot of people that are pirating. There are people that are watching on other platforms, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas before, it was pretty much all through the Nielsen ratings. We knew what was going on. People had to watch it on their TVs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's a lot that's happening where I think popularity-wise and in terms of reception, it's very fucking close to the era we consider the golden era in terms of how over it is. The only thing missing right now is wrestlers making regular appearances on talk shows and shit and putting the product over consistently. That's really the only thing that's missing.
Yeah, but
I think.
You also have Dave Bautista, John Cena, The Rock.
Oh, that's a good point.
You have people going in movies. Yeah,
who are running cinema right now.
Yeah.
There's pretty much always a Bautista, Rock, or Cena movie in rotation now.
I don't know if it's the biggest boom, but it's definitely a boom.
It's very close.
And with that said too, it's like there's so much good stuff in WWE and AEW that I think people and this is my buy and sell. This is my buy and sell, and it leads into this. There's so much good wrestling that it's hard to watch it all, and I think that's why dumb people just pick a brand and blindly defend it. Because it's easier. If you only have to watch WWE and you make fun of AEW, that's way less wrestling you have to see. If you only watch AEW and make fun of WWE, that's way less wrestling you have to see. And that's the same thing with any company. Like, even in Japan, we have foreigners that will watch New Japan, but not Noah. It's like, well, that's it. There's just so much, And
I also think part of it is that people, they get locked into their particular type of product, and then like, all right, so say you're really into like WWE sports entertainment, and you love the Roman Reigns stuff as your business, which is undeniably very sports entertainment focused. Yeah, it's not as much the pro wrestling; it's the sports entertainment, which is good. I like that.
And I just want to add something. Probably some of the best sports entertainment we've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's had some of the greatest peaks. So if you're a fan of that, and then you hear from everyone, oh man, this match from AEW was so good. Like, say you hear Kenny Omega versus Takeshita was so good, so good. But you're a big Roman Reigns sports entertainment guy. You go to give it a chance. You watch it. It's just a work rate match. If you are not into work rate, it's not for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you might enjoy it, but you're not enjoying it the way that someone who that's their niche enjoys. And it's the same with the other end. Someone who loves watching those work rate matches like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, those great workers, loves watching that, and then goes and watches the Bloodline stuff, they're probably a little bored with it. And the matches, they're going to complain that they're not great matches.
I know, but with technology and everything, we have access to whatever you want. And I say this at McDonald's all the time. Like, oh, WWE's the best because it makes the most money. Well, do you bring your wife and loved ones to Valentine's Day and New Year's at McDonald's? No, you don't. Do you have Thanksgiving at McDonald's? You don't. Is McDonald's the best? Turkey. No. And then, like, there's also the pizza thing. I'm really fat. I love food. It would be like me and you eating pizza. You eat cheese pizza, me eating pepperoni. And
no, don't like it. No. Everyone, he's not eating pepperoni pizza.
I love mayo corn pizza. Mayo corn pizza. It's good. It's in Japan. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm eating
exactly.
mayo corn pizza. You're eating cheese pizza. It would be like me getting angry that you're eating cheese pizza, that it's actually
I'm
ruining my
angry that you're eating
experience.
corn and mayo pizza.
Well, you're the
It's
fucking
ruining my
problem.
experience. As I take another bite of pineapple pizza.
I do love some pineapple pizza too. I had it the other day.
God,
But
you're
yeah,
heathen to everybody.
I think there's so much good wrestling that it's hard to keep track of everything, and I think that gives you an advantage of being stupid. Like, think about it. I watch 4 companies, and I'm retired, and I feel it's overwhelming. Imagine
Dude,
if you
last
watched.
weekend was rough.
Oh,
There's
dude,
so much wrestling.
so much. But here's the thing: if you're stupid and you just mock the other thing, you never have to watch that. But I don't understand. Like, I've never
Why do
been
you have
that
to mock
guy
it?
that
Just
wants to
don't
ruin
watch
someone's
it.
fun. I know that's the part. That's the missing piece. I don't understand.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'll make my LOL TNA jokes because I think they're funny.
Yeah.
But I don't tell people not to watch TNA. If you like TNA, go for it. It's not for me, but
Yeah.
I hope all 3 of you are having a blast.
I was one of those 3, and then they fucking ripped me off $20. I bought a pay-per-view and they blocked it in Japan.
Yeah, no Japanese threes.
I want my $20 back to buy some more pizza. And let's leave on it by Noah N1 was fantastic. If you like stiff, hardcore, not hardcore, that's a bad example. Stiff,
If you like stiff,
really
hard
strong
dudes,
style. All right, pay attention. Basically, the way people envision New Japan is really what pro wrestling Noah is. And if you like chops, kicks, and them beating it, just living piss out of each other, the N1 was pretty fantastic.
and
I enjoyed it.
That the women's debut match had some really good women.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully it keeps growing. It's weird because like, I always say this. If your name's not Dave Meltzer, you have not covered New Japan longer than me. And I remember trying to convince people to watch New Japan for years. And now that kind of hill is, I think enough North American fans either know about New Japan or like
Or
they can
pretend
make their
they
own
watch it.
decision. Yeah, they can make their own decision. Where now I'm like, oh my God, well, what you loved about that is in Noah. And it's like, oh, am I even young enough to support, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was really enjoyable. Noah. But even though I was burnt out, this weekend had some great events. You had All Out, Payback. It's Payback, right? I don't want to mispronounce it. I apologize.
Yeah, it was
The
Payback.
N1 finals. I think Stardom had an event. I didn't catch it. I apologize.
Yeah,
to the
Stardom had
ladies.
Stardom. It was one of the big tournaments. Stardom's tournament. Fuck, what's it called? Fuck, what's it called?
Oh,
Hold on.
all right. He's looking it up.
There's-
But there was just so much great wrestling. And I think that so much good wrestling could be a good and bad thing because it could be overwhelming. There's so much wrestling that I want to see, and there's just not enough time. GCW, MLW. I probably should watch Impact more. I should watch All Japan more. I should watch DDT more. It's just difficult. I'm retired. And I guess that will
5-star
be
Grand Prix,
5-star Grand Prix. Got it.
I think.
So I guess my question to leave out on is, we all love pro wrestling, especially if you made it this far into our show or clip. How many events do you watch? Right now, I dabble in other stuff, but I watch Noah religiously. I watch New Japan religiously. I watch AEW, all the events. And I watch WWE pay-per-views and the YouTube highlights. And I kind of wonder, because like, to me, I'm retired. I have no fucking responsibilities whatsoever. I mean, look at this beard. Does this look like a beard of a man that has responsibilities? And I still find it overwhelming. Like, I remember when AEW went off the air. I'm like, oh, good, I'm not going to watch Raw or NXT. Phew, got a couple days off. And dude, it was 12 hours. There was 12 hours of wrestling. And he did AEW,
It was a lot.
WWE, and Noah all on the same day. That was
I fell
12
asleep
hours of
during it.
wrestling. It was insane. Insane. Anyway, SidsLight. He's at SidsLight on everything. He reviews horrors, streams on Twitch, and so much more. Find him anywhere. I'm at KocoSports at most places. And if you are watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, give your feedback. And if you're watching this anywhere, maybe Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, give us a heart, a check, tell your friends, whatever. Just two nerdy, broken infantrymen. And just, how would you describe yourself? Old internet infantry, broken wrestling fans. Is that good?
Raccoon.
What's that?
Raccoon.
And a raccoon. And it's a homeless guy. Dude, I just saw. Dude, I feel like I'm a homeless guy just ranting and raving.
Street story.
What's that?
We're the American street story. A homeless guy and a raccoon.
Yeah, just talking pro wrestling.
There's a comic to be made somewhere there for kids.
Yeah. It's a big
book,
fat
a boy and
bearded
his raccoon.
It's just a big fat old man walking around broken up, yelling about pro wrestling with a raccoon. Like, keep it down. I'm like, I'm recording a podcast. You don't even have a computer.
Yeah, the raccoon doesn't even need to talk. He's just there.
I mean, it probably squeaks every now and then.
He doesn't have to do anything. It makes you look crazier if he doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I just start flipping out. Like, that's what I think about this situation.
Yeah, because if the raccoon's making noises back to you, then people might think you got a Dr. Doolittle thing going on.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Not many people. But like one, maybe, might see you and be like, maybe he's like Dr. Doolittle.
Maybe. Nah. But, hey, we're both on Twitch. We're both on YouTube. We're both on Twitter. We're both in the mean streets. Him, the mean streets of Raccoonland. Me,
your
in the mean
dad
streets
could
of
be Dr. Doolittle.
What's that?
Your dad might be Dr. Doolittle. We don't know.
I don't know. It could be his. And rest in peace, Terry Funk. I know we already talked about this, but
yeah.
I used to tell people Terry Funk was my dad my whole life. So I was kind of sad. What a legend. All right.
Dad.
The raccoon loves you, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe. With that, I am over. Hey. Ooh, this is my favorite part.